Hey guys, Ryan here. Today we're going to do what pretty much everyone else on the internet has done. Open a set of Airpods Pros. All right, so let's jump into these. Of course, oh, that's weird. That did not open as well as most Apple products do. Perhaps I did that wrong. Kind of weird. Get that out of the way. A few little scratchies there. Okay. Pop these guys open. Ooh, yay, papers. Things that I don't read. Designed in California, and here we go. Here's the little guys. As you've seen 1,000 million times on the internet. Airpods Pros. And then the little compartment underneath where we got our ear tips. Pretty nice. Okay, and then our charging cable, which is USB-C to Lightning, which, funnily enough, I don't have any wall warts that go to that, which is okay. I've got plenty of Lightning cables out there. So we'll throw all this aside and the tips, and we'll just take a look at these. And I really wanted to kind of go into a couple things that why I like these. The size is one, because they're just so much shorter. They don't, you don't look like too much of a, I don't know, dingus when you're walking around with the big regular AirPods sticking out. I know people aren't really happy about that. These ones also, you know, they've done the memes with the hair dryers, blah, 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 whatever. But they're super compact. They're super nice. I think one of the biggest things is kind of the noise canceling. I'm a fan of noise canceling headphones, and I travel enough that these would be perfect for me. I have the Sony's, the over-the-ear Sony's, the WH-1000 Mark IIs, I think I have as the Mark IIs. And these would be a good kind of transition from those, or out of those, for my shorter trips. Because while these are nice, the Sonys have a 30-hour battery life. And you can't beat that, especially when traveling internationally. These would fatigue your ears a little bit more than the Sonys, and they would also run out of battery really quick. I mean, this has 24 hours of battery, but you have to put them back in to charge. They only last, what, like, I don't know, 6 to maybe 6 hours, something like that. With noise canceling, probably less. And then you got to put them back in the case to charge, which is a pain in the butt. Where the Sonys, you're going to be getting 30 hours on your head if you can stand it. They'll fatigue your ears too, but not as bad as these. And no flight in the world is 30 hours, so you've got plenty of time. And just for comparison, here's my Sonys that I've been using for quite a while. And we'll do a review on these later because of this little thing right here that happened. Yes, it broke, but we could talk about those later. But these, the padding on these is so comfy, and the noise canceling is phenomenal. I was just on a plane yesterday, and I didn't have to talk to anybody. And then you've got your cable, but then you've also got this. And you think that these aren't used anymore, but they are. In many different places, or many different airlines still use this if they're using kind of like an older version of their plane, because some airlines will buy a plane and keep it for quite a while without updating it, and these are still in use on some planes. It's funnily enough, this is what I had to use on a newer version of the Comfort Plus that they do called Premium Select. It's just above Comfort Plus for Delta. They use these for some weird reason, and that's like a new thing. Anyways, we'll put these guys away. And we'll compare those a little later. So let's go in to why these bad boys, why these are actually my second set, and why I decided to buy them again. So we'll get into why this is my second pair in just a minute, but I want to come at this from a kind of a different angle than other people. There's been a couple of videos online that are kind of the same as what I'm going to do, but I'm not coming at this from an audiophile perspective, but I am an audio engineer. There's a little bit of a difference there where we do care about audio quality. We're not like super obsessive about it. We do care that things sound good and that we are, mixing to the best that we can, the best audio quality we can. And we have high-end speakers in our studios, but we don't get quite as geeked out about it, or, as some people do. So these will be coming at a perspective from an audio engineer who's been doing this for about 20 years now, and I've mixed a lot of things, a lot of live, a lot of post-production, a lot of studio stuff. But the main reason why I sent these back was because as an audio engineer, you have in-ear monitors all the time. Like most people who are mixing, especially in a live setting, have in-ear monitors, and they are either custom molded or have this same kind of rubber tip on the end or a foam tip, and they sit in your ears, and they're usually very comfortable and you can wear them for a long time, especially the custom molded ones. Now those are, $700 more than these ones. And they're going to be, in most cases, a lot higher quality. I've experienced a few that for the price were not as good as they should have been. So I've had a lot of in-ear monitors over the years, and my favorite ones have actually been most of the universal stuff from Shure, because it fits flush with my ear, which kind of sounds funny. The molded ones are the same. They'll fit relatively flush, but they still, if they're just the slightest amount off, just the slightest amount on the molds that you've done, or in my case, it was Ultimate Ears, and they did a scan on my ear, and the scan was not done well. So I would have them in, and after, maybe 10, 15 minutes, since the mold wasn't right or the scan wasn't right, it'd be pushing on cartilage and start to make my ears hurt and give me a headache. And when you're trying to work for, 8 hours, that's just not gonna work. So I've always wanted to go from my Shures. I actually have some Shure wireless earbuds that are connected with a cable. But I wanted to go from those to a truly wireless earbud, and there's so many options out there. And at first I really liked the Powerbeats Pros because they stay on your ear, right? And I do a lot of work outside, and I'm always walking around to get from job to job, things like that. I just wanted something that would stay in my ear, or stay on my ear. So those looked like the perfect solution. I bought a pair, and they did exactly the same thing that my $1,000 in-ear monitors did with the bad scan. They would start to push up against, I think for them it was kind of in the back of my ear, kind of right here, and it would push against the cartilage in my ear, and it just gave me a bad headache. It was not a pleasant experience, and I mean within 5 to 10 minutes with the Powerbeats Pros, that's how long it took. So I didn't want to get the AirPods, just the regular AirPods. My wife has a pair, and I've tried them, and they fit pretty well in my ear, but they're still going to run into that same issue where, for extended use, they're not going to be as comfortable, and they're not going to stay on your ear as well. They actually stay in mine fairly well. I've been surprised, but it's kind of, it's just maybe it's just my ears, but finding the right one has been very difficult. So I got these. At first, they felt great. I put them in, I'm going, yes, this is perfect. This is what I wanted. And then after about 15, 20 minutes of use, I started to feel, you know, kind of on this back area here, I started to feel that pushing against the cartilage in my ear. So I was a little bummed about that. So I ended up actually taking these. I didn't take them back quite yet, but I went out and bought some Sony's, the WF-1000, MKW3, whatever they are, and compared them back to back, and they kind of did the same thing, but with those ones, they also stuck out further. I mean, if you see, I put these guys in, and you can see they're pretty flush on here, which is perfect. That's kind of what you want. These actually fit pretty flush. If I laid on the side of my head, I'd feel something, but they're pretty comfortable. Even with all the ear tips, the different ear tips that they have, the mediums are what usually work best for me. I've tried the large and the small, but I just couldn't get it quite right. So I took them back. So you're probably asking, why do I have a new set then? Well, I just wanted them. That's pretty much it. There's been, as with most Apple products, there's been people who are developing new things, and eventually there will be some good ear tips that come out for them, and I'm willing to wait. These integrate so well with my iPhone, and the sound is pretty dang good. Like I said, it's not an audiophile perspective, but it's an audio engineer perspective, and from what I hear, they sound pretty good. The highs are relatively crisp, the mids aren't scooped, which always drives me crazy, and the bass is just enough, especially if you get the seal right. So I decided to get these again, mainly because they just work so well with my iPhone. A lot of my other headphones, especially the Sures are not a sophisticated headphone. They sound okay. I usually use them just because they fit so well in my ear. It's just a convenience and a comfort factor for that. These are a super convenient factor. And then on top of that, you get the noise canceling and you get the good audio quality. Decent. I actually think it's better than my Sures. But even now wearing them, I can kind of feel a couple spots where it's going to be pushing against my ear and causing some pain. But there's so many things that these do so well because they're integrated with the iPhone, because Apple makes them both. And with the W1 chip and being able to communicate with a phone, I mean, I have a 6S. So, you know, this is nothing new, and it communicates just fine with it. And we'll actually look into this in another video, but stay tuned for that. So my conclusion on these is that, are they the best? Pretty much. At this point in the game, if you have an iPhone, this is what you want to get. Because of that noise canceling, because of the communication with the phone, they're just so smart. They have a physical button on here, which is awesome, which the original normal AirPods don't have. Kind of, you know, the Powerbeats Pros, how they had one, that was great. These are just amazing. They have great integration with the phone. They sound good. And I'm going to hold out for some different options that come in the future to kind of mitigate the comfort thing. That's just something that's going to take time. And somebody will come up with it, because somebody always does come up with it. So I hope that helped with kind of shaping your perspective on the AirPods Pros. You still kind of look like a dink when you're wearing them, but you know, whatever. That's for the people watching you to be concerned about. Who cares what they think anyways, right? But I hope that helped you in just kind of getting a perspective from somebody who works in audio every single day and has had many type of earbuds like this before they were wireless and just wants a good pair. And I think you can't really go wrong with these. Even on the comfort level, they just work so well. So hope you guys like this. If you did, hit the like button. That's always a good thing. Subscribe if you want. Share it with others. And I'll see you guys in the next video.